Hi, so in this video we're going to be talking about how to free ourselves from those limiting and kind of restraining emotions that we often get caught up in. So this is something that we all kind of fall prey to. You know, we all have times where we struggle, we have times that are difficult, we have tricky circumstances that we have to navigate. So this is why I filmed this video, because I felt very much this week that a lot of people in my environment and, friends, people that I kind of work with and, clients of mine have been struggling quite a lot. So the first thing I wanted to say is that, often we have either a situation that kind of occurs and we often get caught up in the emotional charge of that situation, or we kind of tend to relive old past hurts. Things often to do with the family kind of come up and we get caught up in the same sort of emotions that we've kind of felt over a long period of time. And the first thing to realise is that we have, or the average person has, many, many thoughts. They reckon about 60,000 thoughts per day. And these thoughts, or 90% at least of these thoughts, are the same as the day before that, etc. So we're kind of stuck in a way. We're kind of stuck in the past, aren't we? We're not really evolving emotionally. So as you can appreciate, it does become quite difficult for us. Now, at this point in the year, obviously we're in winter at the beginning of December at the time when I've been filming this video, but the seasons and the years are cyclical, aren't they? And at this time, winter period, it's kind of the death of the old year. The old year is dying and kind of getting ready to make way for the new one. And we ourselves, because of that, are very impacted energetically. So we are, naturally we feel like being still and inside, and we don't have a lot of light, do we? So we don't have as much energy. And it is a time energetically for just being still, being introspective, kind of looking over the year, seeing what's worked, what hasn't, and we're getting drawn to kind of letting go of things that no longer serve us, whether they are physical objects in our environment, aspects of our relationships, our job, or just aspects of ourselves, that we want to let go of, so that we can bring in new things, fresh things for us that serve us more in a newer and better way. So, this is the time, isn't it, to be letting go of these more negative emotions or just releasing more of them. So it's a perfect time at the moment to be doing that. And with the new year, this will bring change. Obviously, change is inevitable. Nothing stays the same. And although it is inevitable, it does push us as well. So we've got all of this going on, all this kind of energy setting up, and we're kind of being confronted with past hurts, and often we're confronted with tricky, difficult situations, aren't we, as well? So it's how to navigate all of that. And when we are stuck, and as I know, I was probably a good sort of 10 years ago, and up until that point, a person that was very much in overwhelm with my emotions, and would just kind of fly off the handle quite easily, and found it very difficult to navigate through those emotionally charged situations. And also I found it very disempowering. It was disempowering for me because I was so caught up in it. I just couldn't really be balanced. I didn't have a lot of balance in my life. So yeah, I was pretty without inner power, really, without inner strength. And the Native Americans, I love the kind of culture and the traditions and beliefs of the Native American indigenous population. They say that inner power or power, they kind of talk about horse a lot. And it's funny because I had my card of the week is horse this week, and that is all about freedom and power. But they say that, according to Native Americans, that to steal a man's horse is to steal his power. And they say that you cannot gain power through force. It is just something that comes to you through balance and respect and accepting responsibility. And this is also another point that I wanted to make, is that we become very disempowered when we see ourselves as victims. And I see that so much in people around me, in friends, family, and in myself sometimes as well. If we see ourselves as victims, it's this kind of habit of saying, well, they did that to me, he said that to me, poor me, there's nothing I can do. And it does feel like that, doesn't it? And sometimes I think we almost enjoy feeling wronged and feeling angry and getting a bit negative, but at the end of the day, it doesn't serve a purpose, and it becomes very disempowering for us because we see ourselves like that. Whereas if we manage to turn the situation around a little bit and say, well, okay, I'm going to accept my part in that situation or this situation, and I'm going to start to think a little bit differently about it and just see a way forward, it becomes very empowering for us. Okay, so I'm hoping you can understand what I'm trying to say, and hopefully that will help you just to change a little bit your perspective around things, and it does, it really, really helps. And it's not about apportioning blame, it's about accepting responsibility. It's very different. So, as I said, our card for the week was horse, and this is very much about being balanced in our power, our freedom, freeing ourselves from old emotional weaknesses, past hurts, and just the emotional charge of a situation that may be setting up for us. So, I was thinking, how could we, or how would I, if I was faced with a tricky or more negative circumstance, how would I help myself through it? And the immediate thing I think, and it's just something that I go back to straight away, is the centering. I would absolutely start with that. So I would take myself somewhere quiet. If I was in a work situation, obviously I work for myself, I'm up from home, I work in my centre at home. So, I'm by myself for most of the day, which is lovely, unless I've got clients or whatever. But if you're in a work situation with, or in a large group of people, just take yourself, away to the loo or to your bedroom or, wherever it is. You close your eyes and then just bring your focus down into your heart center. And I just often put my hand over my heart, and I immediately, because I'm doing this all the time, and especially at the beginning of the day, I feel love coming out of my heart, and I just expand that love, that loving feeling for the situation, for the person that, maybe finding a bit tricky to deal with. And this kind of just changes everything. I gain a little bit of clarity around the situation. I can, I'm not so caught up in the emotions, and because my head's getting clearer, I'm getting in a bit of intuitive guidance as a way forward, and it really, really helps. So, you can absolutely work in that way, and just start with that tiny little technique. You could even start your morning like that. It takes a few minutes. Everyone can find 5 minutes to carve out of their time just to do that. And then hopefully you remember, when you are faced with the situation, to come back to that. You remember that feeling that you had, and hopefully you'll come back to that every time. The other thing that I have done is to record a visualization, Wild Horses visualization, which will absolutely help. If you are stuck in a situation like that, then just listen to that visualization. That's just going to free you a little bit and just remind you of what you're trying to achieve. I hope this has helped. If it has, please don't forget to like, share or comment on YouTube. You can get to YouTube via this video, and it will help others if they need to hear this message as well. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful week. Bye.